My name is Lauren Elizabeth Carter. I'm 32 years old, Vice President of Clinical Development at Helix Therapeutics in Boston. And until last Thanksgiving, I was the invisible trust fund that kept an entire branch of the Carter family breathing. It started with a single sentence in the open-air lobby of the Four Seasons Maui at 6:42 p.m. on Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. The concierge, a kind-eyed woman named Leilani, looked like she wanted the marble floor to swallow her whole. Miss Carter, I'm showing 4 oceanfront residence suites under Carter Family Holdings, but there is no 5th suite and no reservation in your individual name. Before I could respond, the click of Stuart Weitzman heels on stone announced my cousin Madison like gunfire. Madison Carter Harrington, 35, former SMU cheerleader, current full-time influencer with 1.2 million followers who believed she lived on brand partnerships. She stopped 10 feet away, phone already recording in portrait mode, and smiled the way great whites do. Oh my God, Lauren, you actually came. Her voice carried across the koi pond and the infinity pool and the string quartet, warming up for the Thanksgiving welcome reception. Security, can we get the help out of the shot? We're doing real family photos in 5. My Aunt Claire suddenly discovered a fascinating orchid arrangement. Uncle Ted pretended his Apple Watch had vibrated with urgent news. My own parents, who had spent the last 20 years telling anyone who would listen that Lauren's job pays for everything, turned their backs and studied a sunset they had seen 1,000 times. Madison flipped her hair for the cameras, already live streaming to her stories. We only booked for actual family, Lauren. You get it. I got it. I was wearing the cream silk maxi dress I had dry cleaned twice because I wanted to look like I belonged at the adults' table for once. I had personally authorized the $187,000 resort charge on my corporate Amex because the whole family is coming, Lauren, and you can expense it as leadership offsite. I did not give them tears. I did not give them screaming. I gave them the same calm smile I use when the FDA asks why our phase 2 data looks too perfect. Thank you for clarifying, I said to Leilani, handed her a $100 bill for the inconvenience, picked up my graphite Toomey, and walked out past the tiki torches like I was simply changing seats at a restaurant. In the Suburban back to the airport, I made one phone call. Grandpa, it's Lauren. Darlin', why aren't you drinking Mai Tais with the family? Because they just announced to the entire resort that I'm not family. Retired Lieutenant General Harrison James Carter, United States Army, 81 years young, majority shareholder of Carter Defense Systems, a company that prints money for the Pentagon while he plays golf at Augusta, listened without interrupting. When I finished, there were exactly 5 seconds of silence. Then, send me the reservation numbers and the security footage. I'll take it from here. That was all. By the time Delta Flight 487 climbed out of Kahului, every single Carter currently sipping welcome champagne in paradise received the same email from h.carter@carterdefense.com. Subject line: immediate and irrevocable termination of all trust disbursements. The message was 4 paragraphs, 212 words, 0 exclamation points, and it ended 3 lifestyles in the time it takes to read it aloud. Paragraph 1 quoted, verbatim, what Madison had said in the lobby. Grandpa already had the footage from the general manager, a former Marine who still believed in the chain of command. Paragraph 2 listed every allowance, every lease, every tuition payment, every country club membership, the Dallas mansion, the Aspen chalet, the Maui timeshare week, the G-Wagon, the Range Rover, the Tesla Model X Performance, the NetJets share, the American Express Black Card Concierge account. Paragraph 3. My money was extended as a privilege, not a birthright. Privilege revoked effective 0001 Hawaii time. Paragraph 4. Happy Thanksgiving. May it be the first one you ever paid for yourselves. He BCC'd me. The Four Seasons canceled all 4 suites within 6 minutes. Cards declined. Luggage moved to holding. Guests were offered the choice of paying cash tonight or taking the red-eye home. My phone registered 312 notifications before we reached cruising altitude. Madison left 43 voicemails that cycled through every stage of grief in perfect order: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and one that was just hysterical sobbing about the Black Friday content calendar I had planned for 6 months. My mother tried the greatest hits playlist. You've always been so sensitive. It was just Madison being Madison. Your aunt and uncle spent $40,000 on flowers alone. Lauren, you can't do this to them. Dad's texts were all caps about losing the Aspen Chalet and what the club will say when they revoke our membership. I turned the phone to airplane mode, accepted warm chocolate chip cookies from the flight attendant, and slept from Maui to Seattle. The next 10 days were a masterclass in watching a house of cards discover gravity. Day 1, Mercedes-Benz Financial repossessed Madison's white G-Wagon in the Lahaina Whole Foods parking lot while she was buying oat milk for her morning routine reels. A teenager filmed it. It has 4.7 million views on TikTok. Day 2, the Hockaday School in Dallas informed Madison's 7-year-old twins that tuition was 90 days past due. Their spots would be offered to the wait list unless $84,000 appeared by December 1st. Day 3, my parents discovered their Medicare Advantage supplement had lapsed. One cardiac event would now cost more than their annual pension combined. Day 5, the Highland Park Mansion, 6,800 square feet, purchased in 2018 with trust money and titled in the family LLC, received a notice of default. Auction scheduled for February. Day 8, Madison's NetJets account was suspended mid-flight from Maui to Dallas. The Gulfstream turned around over New Mexico and dropped them at a fixed base operator in Albuquerque. They finished the trip commercial, coach, middle seats. Week 3, Madison's husband Ryan called me from a Home Depot parking lot, voice shaking. She had secret cards, Lauren, store cards, private shopping accounts, $219,000. I never knew. They were filing Chapter 11. The house was gone. The cars were gone. The life was gone. I told him the same thing I tell investigators when they ask why a trial failed. You didn't lose a lifestyle. You lost the illusion of one. Month 2, Madison started selling Rodon Plus Fields on Instagram Live from her parents' guest room. Her ring light flickered because the Wi-Fi was now Comcast Basic. Her first post back after radio silence got 187 likes and one comment from her old sorority big sister. Girl, are you okay? My parents moved into a 1,400 square foot rental in Plano. Mom learned the difference between Whole Foods and Kroger. Dad discovered that unlimited golf is not a Medicare benefit. Grandpa flew to Boston in January, took me to dinner at Oya, and at the end of the 26-course omakase, slid a black American Express Centurion across the table. My name only. No spending limit. No trust strings. He also transferred the $11.4 million Maui oceanfront condo into my name alone. I listed it the next week, sold in 8 days to a crypto billionaire who paid cash and closed in 6. With the proceeds, I founded the Carter First Gen Fund. full ride scholarships for women in STEM who have never had a safety net. First class, 24 students. All of them, like me, were once told they took up too much space. April Madison's daughter Harper, 7 years old, gap-toothed smile, still believes her aunt walks on water, flew to Boston alone with a unicorn backpack and a note from her teacher that said, Harper has had a hard transition. We rode the swan boats, ate cannoli in the North End, built blanket forts in my living room, and on the last night, she asked if the beach in her drawing could still happen one day. I opened her first custodial brokerage account with $10,000 and told her beaches are better when nobody can take the ticket away. Grandpa met us for brunch at the Four Seasons Boston. Ironic, yes, and gave Harper the same talk he gave me when I was 7. Never let anyone make you feel small for standing on your own 2 feet. The view is better from up here. Thanksgiving 2025. I hosted 15 of my scholars in my new Back Bay brownstone. We deep fried 2 turkeys in the alley. 1 caught fire, 0 regrets. Drank champagne out of lab beakers and went around the table saying what we were grateful for. Every answer was a variation of, I paid for this seat myself. My phone stayed silent. No frantic texts. No staged apologies. Just the sound of chosen family laughing too loud at 2 a.m. Madison sent 1 email in October. Subject, I was wrong. 3 lines. I was cruel. I'm trying to be better. Harper asks about you every day. I haven't replied yet. Maybe one day, when her remorse no longer needs my absolution to feel real. Some wounds don't need closure. They need distance. I wear the pearl studs Grandpa gave me the day I defended my dissertation to every board meeting, every grant presentation, every first day of class I fund. Because now I understand what he was trying to teach me all those years ago. Real family isn't who you're born to. It's who shows up when the private jet is gone, the G-Wagon is gone, the Amex is gone, and all that's left is you. And for the first time in 32 Thanksgivings, I am surrounded by exactly those people.